Am I the a-hole for not wanting to babysit my baby sister for free? I, 17F, have a 9-month-old baby sister, and I am tired of all the comments that I should always be babysitting her. But part of me feels bad, so Reddit. AITA? Sorry if it's long. For context, I am very close with my mother, 40F, as she was a single mother for most of my upbringing and had me somewhat young, so we have always been close. My whole life, my mother has always said she does not want more kids, which is understandable because of the bullshit my dad put her through. This, however, changed when she met her now husband, 45M, who is an actual angel sent from above. He is so nice and treats me and mum like the queens we are. He took me in as his own when I was 15. With this being said, he expressed how much he wanted a kid of his own to raise from a baby, which, fair. My mother agreed, with the condition that they get married first to avoid everything that happened with my dad happening again. Now to the story. I was the first person my parents told that they were pregnant, which makes sense because we are all close, and I was aware that they were trying for a baby. At this time, I had just turned 16. Now don't get me wrong, from the very beginning, I have been over the moon over the new addition to the family. I love kids, and have a history of working with them. I also have a brother, 11, on my dad's side and grew up with many kids around, big Latina family, so I am good with kids and know how to properly care for them. Now where the problem comes in. As soon as mom got pregnant, my parents always joked about how they have a built-in babysitter since I'm so much older than the baby. They always talk about how I should help more with the baby. Now, I would understand this if I did nothing, but I help out a lot. I am the main cook in the house. I cook pretty much every dinner and am expected to be home in time to cook if I'm out, with the exception of youth group. I am also responsible for all of the dishes. Like, I come home from school every day, and my parents' lunch dishes are in the sink for me to do. I come home from youth at like 10 p.m., and all the dinner dishes are there for me to do before bed while my parents are already asleep. And I clean the entire house every week. On top of all this, I'm also just busy. I do a lot, and I'm gone for like a week at a time pretty much every holiday. I'm away leading at a kids' camp. I have a lot of schoolwork as well since I'm in my last year of school, and I do really well in school. I'm very involved at church as well, so most weekends I'm gone at some point at church. We all have a joke about how I'm never home cause I'm a social butterfly, and I get up to lots, and my parents never make an issue out of this. In fact, they are very supportive and love that I do heaps. I'm a good kid. I don't drink or smoke. I don't really go to parties, etc. The issue lies in how I spend my free time at home. I usually just want some time to myself and chill in my room, either watching a movie, reading my book, chatting to friends, etc. I also, of course, hang out with my family and my baby sister. I love my baby sister so much and love hanging out with her. I don't want this to come across as if I don't want to be around her or anything like that. I think there's a difference between hanging out with my sister when I'm home and babysitting her. I used to be a babysitter, and it's hard work. I think that if they expect me to care for her to the extent that I'm babysitting her instead of just spending my free time with my sister, I should be getting paid. My parents refuse to give me money for anything. They fill the fridge and pay the bills, but that's it. Anything else, I'm expected to pay for myself, to the point that my mom has a notes page where she keeps note of the debt I owe her. They paid a bill at school for me? Debt noted. They paid for me to go to teen camp? Debt noted. I asked to borrow $10 because I don't carry cash? Debt noted. I pay them back for everything, which is whatever. That's just how it works. But if you expect me to do a job that I used to actually be paid for and I invested my money into to qualify myself for, I think I deserve to be paid, even if it's my sister. Again, I don't mind hanging out with my sister, and I do so often in my free time. The difference is, babysitting would mean clearing my schedule to care for her, feed her, change her, etc. My hanging out with her does get her off my parents' hands for a bit so they can do stuff, but if they want more, they can pay someone else that's qualified or pay me. I'm also not saying this as if I expect a shit ton of money. I don't expect much money at all, just a bit of change or something for my time. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I'm moving out next year and already have plans as to what I'm doing. But I just want to know if I'm overreacting and should just suck it up and babysit. So, am I the a-hole? Update. Thanks so much for all the support. I just thought I would make a few things clear. Quite a few people are saying I'll have some trouble leaving the house, but this is not true. My parents are 100% supportive of me leaving next year. I already have an internship with on-site housing lined up, and they are over the moon excited for me to go and are actively helping me solidify my plans for next year and the following. I am planning to use this internship as a gap year and save some money before I go to the school I want to go to in the South Island. We live in the North Island, and they have my back with this big move. We live in New Zealand for context. I appreciate all the concern, and I understand that this situation is rough, but you have to remember that this is just one small aspect of my life, and I did not mention any of the amazing things about my parents or all they do for me. The reason I pay my school bills, only extra stuff, for example my shirt for my sport class, is because I was homeschooled as my parents are against the school system and did not want me in school. I understand why they think this, and I also don't love some aspects of school and how rude kids can be. I was bullied heaps growing up, but decided to rejoin school for my seniors years. We are not in a super good financial situation, so when talking about rejoining school, I said I would pay for extra costs like this if that meant I could go. Also with baby, I have never once been forced to care for her or wake up in the middle of the night for her. It's just that they want me spending more time with her when I'm just in my room. I am just annoyed at these comments and just wanted the peace of mind that I am in fact in the right in this situation. With the debt ledger, as you guys are calling it, my parents put it in place because I used to be really bad with my money. They started asking me to pay them back for things that I didn't absolutely need as a way to teach me that money has value and that I can't just throw it away. It's a bit excessive if you ask me, but it's what works ATM. It is also not insanely strict, like it's not down to the cents or anything, it's rough estimated, and if I'm a little short they'll just wipe the rest off. They also are up for negotiation over this ledger, and there have been times when I paid them back later because there was something I wanted to do. My mom as well as the rest of us are just doing the best we can with what we have. We come from a very dysfunctional family and are both trying our best to break those generational traumas. With this being said, my mom saved me from a lot, and I don't know where I would be without her. She is a great mom at the end of the day, but she has her faults as we all do. My parents are not controlling of me either. I am allowed to leave home and go do stuff whenever I want, and I have traveled heaps by myself sometimes for very long periods of time. They don't check my phone, they never come in my room, etc. They just have these rules with the cooking and cleaning and such, and that's my way to help around the house. With all this being said, thank you for confirming that I am in fact not crazy here. I am excited to leave home and move on to my very exciting plans, and my parents are happy for me too. They have been supporting me every step of the way, and they are actually the ones that convinced me I should just go for this internship.